Kitchen at Westminster. We're ready for another saving time recipe. This week we're doing roasted salmon and vegetables. This is compliments of Fresh Coast Good Sales this week for just under $14. $14. Can you imagine? $14. I have a pound of broccoli, 99 cents a pound. Red peppers, $1.99 a pound. This little bag of potatoes, $1.49. Are you kidding me? What can you do with $1.50? Apparently this. The garlic and green onions, 75 cents each, another $1.50. Are you kidding? This is a riot, right? Salmon. So you get a pack of frozen salmon fillets for $5.99. I actually have 2 packs here. We're cooking for a larger group this week. So I've got extra fish. Everything else will stay the same. All of this food, oh, and the brown sugar, I should say. We're gonna make a nice little teriyaki kind of influence marinade for the salmon. Brown sugars for that, $1.99. You're gonna have a lot left over, so you're gonna be baking this week too. Okay, we're ready to start. First thing I'm gonna do is make up our little marinade. Easy peasy, not at all fussy, mostly stuff that you already have in the house, I'm sure. I'm going to make it in a measuring cup because it's nice and easy then to pour over. Make it in a bowl if that suits you. I like to be able to pour it, so that's why I'm doing that. Marinade is dead easy. We're going to start with some garlic, 2 cloves. So out of our 75 cents, we've got enough garlic here for a long time. And as usual, I've got a bowl for our compost. It's going to come back to us as more food. And sooner rather than later, right? It's not far off. So I always just kind of take the ends off the garlic clove, and it makes it a lot easier to peel. And just the ends off. Set that to the side. And then you can just get a hold of it. It's a little tricky, but once you find the spot, then that's it, right? You find that loose spot, there's one done. And then the other one. And try to get your fingernail under there if you can and pull it off. And there. Okay, this is our bit of waste. And now, garlic. So you might have a garlic press for mincing it. Maybe you're just going to use a knife. If you've never seen one of these before, I love it. It's called a garlic rocker. So all you do is you put your bumpy side underneath on top of it, and then you're just rocking it. Thus the rocker, and back and forth. Look at how it's coming up to the top. I love this thing. Push it a little bit and keep going. Look at that. What I like about this instead of the press that I used to use is clean up. The presses, I mean, come on, we've all been there. Where you're trying to scrub up the press and it's really hard. And now the other one. And we can just do it too. And look how easy that is. I never used a press so easily. I love this thing. Garlic rocker. If you don't already have one, put it on your wish list. In case, you wish for things like that. I know it's probably a little goofy. I do. So there you go. Maybe that makes me odd. I don't mind. Our garlic is ready. So now, just use your spoon. Pull it off the top. Sometimes I do this, and you get a little bit more. And why not get a little bit more if you can? We're in a dime here, so we might as well get all of it. And brush it off. And there, and that's your skin bits, and just into the compost bowl there. And that is, I promise you, so much easier to clean than your garlic press ever was. So we've got our garlic there. Now we're going to put in a little bit of that brown sugar. You probably already have an open brown sugar at home. So we just need 2 tablespoons. So you don't need to get too carried away. Your 2 tablespoons. There we go. And there's that. Make sure, if you don't have a canister, keep your brown sugar in the bag. Lock the top up either with a little twist tie. If you buy bagged milk, you could have some or something, or even wrap it in a piece of cellophane and then put it in your canister, and then it won't get all hard and horrible on you in the bag. Double wrap the brown sugar. And then we need soy sauce and olive oil or vegetable oil, whatever you've got. And we're going to do 1 tablespoon of oil. And just like that. Set get that to, we're gonna need more of that, so don't put it away. And soy sauce. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons, no 4, sorry, 4 tablespoons. And, which is also a 1/4 cup if you just wanna do it that way. 2, 3, and 4. There we go. That can go right over there. And set that to the side. And then we need, what am I missing? Oh, a little bit of pepper. You know I've got my little pepper thing here. Go, maybe 2 pinches. 2 pinches or 2 good spins with the shaker. And now we need some ginger. This is, ginger. About a teaspoon. So, in the world of teaspoons, I'm gonna say 2 pinches, okay? 2 pinches are gonna do it. And there we go, there's that. And then, give that a little stir. We're gonna let it sit for a minute so that all these flavors combine and come together, and it'll be so good when we have that on our salmon. Are you kidding me? It's good, so good, so good. So just set that aside. I just wanna let that get to know each other. And now we're into our veggies. So tonight we're gonna do potatoes, broccoli, red peppers, and green onions eventually. So, I've said for 4 people you want about 1 pound of potatoes. I've got a few more because, as I said, I'm cooking for a slightly larger group this week. So, you've got them, peel them if you want to, leave them if you don't. These are lovely. They're just nice the way they are. I'm gonna get this good big bowl because we're just gonna get all of our veggies into the same bowl. As always, we're cutting them into, as long as they're all about the same size so they cook about the same rate. And 1, just like that, and that. And if you already had potatoes and you didn't buy new ones, you're gonna know if you've got red skins, that would be beautiful, right? That would look nice. There. And we're just gonna get them all in here. I'm sorry, I always forget to tell you, I am preheating the oven to 425. So if you weren't already doing that, sorry about that, you've got time, it'll get there. This is super easy. I think we should really pay attention to how fast we are tonight. I've got a friend waving in the window at me. That's nice. And there we go.
You're so popular, you have people showing up at the window
Turns
now.
out the paparazzi. And there we go. So this is just white potatoes, and like I say, it doesn't matter. Anything's going to be fine, whatever you've got. You know what would look nice? You know how sometimes you can buy the little blue potatoes? Wouldn't they look fun? They would look fun. Sometimes kids don't go for that, so if you've got kids, they might be like, ugh. I've been there. I've done that. I know that face. And look at us go. We're going to be, I bet, total oven time for this meal is ½ an hour. And I honestly think we can sum up the prep in 15 minutes. I think we're well under an hour tonight. So this is a great meal for any weeknight, any busy night. Your salmon, you can cook it from frozen. I usually, if you know that's what you're going to cook for supper, set it in the fridge in the morning before you go to work, and it'll be thawed when you get home. And otherwise, if you set it out just when you're starting to get dinner organized, when you're starting to think about it, it'll thaw out pretty quick too, just sitting in the sink for like a ½ hour or something. Don't leave it in the sink all day. That would be a bad idea. In the fridge all day, in the sink for like ½ an hour. And there we go. There's our potatoes already done. And last one, and I have done a few extra. There's the potatoes. Brilliant. That can leave. Now let's do peppers next. Now peppers. You cut around the top of the pepper, just like this, just like that. Okay? And get a hold of it and watch. Look at that. It all comes out. And If you don't already do this, please start. Those are all peppers. Those are all peppers. They are gonna grow in your garden. You're gonna take them off, you're gonna put them on a little piece of paper towel and let them dry, and then you're gonna plant them somewhere. And you know what? If you plant peppers in a container and put them somewhere warm, they'll grow beautifully for you, okay? So, look at that. Look, I'm just doing, I'm not gonna do this the whole time because I've got plenty of pepper seeds at home. But I just wanna show you, look at that. I'm always saying it'll come back to you as more food. Hello, look at all those peppers. That's coming back to you as more food. Then, look, our inside of our pepper's all ready to go. So I'm just gonna reach in with my fingers and pluck out those last few bits. Give it a little tap. All those lost peppers. And then we'll do the other one too. So again, just go around the top. Don't get wild with your knife or you'll be slipping past and getting yourself. But just, and I always just use like a paring knife to do that. And then reach in, pluck it out, save all the babies. Look at how nice that is. You know what? You've got to start doing this. Why are you buying seeds? You already bought them. You already bought. This pepper just wants to keep on feeding you for so long. Don't let it down. It wants to do more work. I feel like a schmuck. All of these seeds are going to waste, right? Okay, there we go. And look, I love doing peppers like this is just so easy, you know, instead of messing around with them endlessly. I'm not really going to do it. If you leave that sitting on your counter for a day, they'll be dry, put them in a little envelope or an empty vitamin bottle or something like that, and then they'll be ready when the weather is. And then we'll just cut in half. And we're going to chop our pepper up into, I think like pieces that you wouldn't have to cut out on your plate. Okay, so we're going to think bite size. Okay, so not itty bitty, but so that they're ready to eat. When you get to where the joints are, we'll clean them up in a bit. And in case you don't know, it's the seeds and the white part of the pepper where the heat is. So if you have people who don't love the heat, peel that away. And I usually do anyway, just because I like the dark color of it. And cut that one in half. Look at how nice these are. $1.99 a pound. What a riot. And you're going to fill your garden with them. I know you are. Now that we're on to that, anytime you do something, anything that'll grow in Ontario, save the seeds. Don't go buy more seeds. And especially if it's ones that you grew in your own garden, somehow they seem to know the spot, and then the seeds are smart, and they know how to come back as really good stuff. And I'm just going to tidy that out. So just those little bits. And I'm going to cut those smaller. So we'll get rid of this and this, just where you can see the white. Get that paring knife back out. You don't need the great big one for that. And throw them to the side. Just, you don't want to waste pepper, but at the same time, right? I mean, it's hardly wasting. We're not going to want that part. And there. Ooh, these are, the scent is strong. They're nice. Hurry over there and get some. They're very nice. And just like that. And then we're going to cut them all the other way too, to get it going. And there we are. Just like that. They all look pretty good now. Okay. Now I said like bite-sized pieces. So I'm going to line them up like that and maximize my cut and just do like that. That looks pretty good. And in they go. Grab a few more. And just like that. And just like that. And this way too, if you've got somebody in your house who's not a huge fan of peppers, well, they won't pick. They're big enough to easily set to the side of their plate. Very politely, dignified like. And there's that, and there. Yeah, just, I don't know, they're about an inch. You can see what I'm doing. You want to think that you can just eat it as is. And there, and there. This is moving along fast. look at all, this is gonna be so pretty on the plate, the salmon and all these nice veggies. You're gonna wanna take a picture of it. Show everybody what a nice meal you made. And there, and in it goes. Okay, there's our pepper. I was wise enough to keep a towel out tonight for wiping my hands. Now, that we can set over there. Now we'll do our broccoli. So broccoli florets, 99 cents a pound. I've got right around a pound here. And just get a hold of it. There's a leaf, we can pull those down. And just, I don't like too much stem myself. And I mean, I really do. Sometimes it can taste a little, it can get a little woody. So just, if you cut up at the top, then they all kind of come apart. And I'm gonna go a little bit further because it's just, we don't need to work that hard. And then just separate them in here. Just like that. And then the same thing here. Okay, get rid of our compost. And in it goes, and there. I had rinsed the broccoli earlier, so that's all good. If you don't want anything to go into the oven wet, or it will basically steam and it won't crisp up either, that's for sure. And since we're roasting the vegetables, we don't want them to feel soggy in any way. And there we go. So it's best if you're rinsing things to rinse them well ahead, or if it's a little later, then dry them quick in a little tea towel or a piece of paper towel, something like that. Okay, there, and there. Oh, I almost went the wrong way with that piece. And look at us go. Look how fast this is. And I promise you, it's going to look so pretty. There we go. That can go. Good. Good, 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 good. Ha! Those ones are not wanting to come away from each other. There, I got them. Okay, there's that. So, we've got potatoes, broccoli, pepper, our green onions. At this point, I just want to use the white part. We'll come back for the green later. So right now, if you line them up, and you can cut the ends off all in one move. Save yourself, 30 seconds. We're trying to get dinner on the table here. And then just some of them, if you can tell if there's still that one outermost film on it. And I usually just, if you rub with your thumb, see how the little bit comes off? So just give it a rub with your finger, and if it's there, it'll come away, and it might already have been taken off in the process of getting it here to Ontario at this time of year. So that one still has a little on the end. We'll get rid of it. And for that matter, so does that one. Okay, now I'm content. And I'm just going to line them up, and then nice thin slices, okay? So we're just gonna go like that, and we want just the whites at this point. We're gonna use the greens for garnish at the end. So look at that. That's good. And that's gonna give us lots of nice flavor. And that one's got a little bit of red on it from the pepper on the knife. Huh, it's kind of pretty. And there we go. And in, and there, and there. And I've used the whole bunch. I mean, 75 cents. Okay, look at that. Now, all we need to do here is add 2 tablespoons of oil or thereabouts. So just 1 and 2, just like that. And we need some salt and pepper. So back we go, our little dish, and there you go. And now some salt. I've got some of that onion stuck to my fingers. And let's go 1. And just a short one then for the second one. And then, I didn't bring a spoon over, but you know what? I've got one over here, I'm sure I do. There's one that won't be too noisy. Okay, give it a good toss so that you get your oil and salt and pepper and just the veggies all blended through too. We don't want to separate them. We want them to get together in the oven and share with each other. Look at how pretty that is. Okay, now I'll move that to the side, and that to the side. And as always, I've put some parchment paper on my baking sheet, make my life easy later. And we're gonna spread this out, oh, just like that. This is heavy. And just dump it on there, and then we'll look at this. Doesn't that look nice? Doesn't it look good? I think it does. I think it looks beautiful. Okay, and push it around a little bit. We're gonna set this in the oven. We're gonna set our timer 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, you don't have to worry too much. 10 minimum, and if you go 15, nothing bad is gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna get the oven open first. And it's getting so easy now because we're using it. Look at that. Oh, either that or I'm like a superhero now. It's one or the other. And nice big sheet pan going in. I'm going to put it on the underside in the lower rack there. And right in it goes. And we're going to set the timer for 10 minutes so I'm paying attention. But as I said, if you go 15, no big deal. We can stop now for, no, actually I'm going to marinate the fish. I'm going to set my timer. I'm not just going to study the clock this week. That's way too sketchy. Okay, our fish. I put foil in the pan. If you have a glass pot, like a Pyrex type casserole, you wouldn't need to do that. I'm only doing it because you saw, this could get sticky. And I don't want to scrape my pan because it'll get all scratched up and everything. But if you're using a Pyrex dish, not an issue, okay? I just did that, again, to make my life easier later. And that's really all I'm about at that point. Now, I have twice as much salmon as I've recommended buying on here. You'll get 4 of these pieces in one package for $6, and 4, one piece per person is enough. But we're feeding a larger crowd this week. So just take your pieces of salmon and you want to spread them out in the pan so that, you know, ideally they're not lapping. Well, they can go right beside each other, but try not to lap them, like stack them at all, if possible. And like that. And look at this. This is nice. So I've got 8 pieces just because. Oh, there's some of those seeds. Haha. See the peppers, they want to grow. They just want to be there. Now, give it another little stir. And we're going to pour it on. Try to keep, if you're working with Pyrex again, it's going to be a little easier because you can stir it around and stuff. I'm just going to pour it over and I'm going to keep some so that I can turn it. And just like that. Okay, so we're just pouring it over top. And now, just to be sure that they all get it, I'm going to turn my salmon over. Look at that. Looks good, right? And turn it again. And then we're going to pour the rest over the top. And again, and again. My fingers are going to smell like garlic. Okay, and now we'll pour the rest of it over. And I'm just hoping that foil is going to make things easier for me later. Use that Pyrex or a ceramic dish would also be a good choice. Anything that you can push around and you can scrub without damaging. And get all that deliciousness out of the bottom of the bowl or the measuring cup, whatever you chose to use. And spread it around. Okay. Now, at the 10-minute mark, we will put this into the oven. Right now, we can clean up a little bit. We can, you know what? Actually, I'm not going to. If we chop these up too soon, we can do them when those go in. If we do it too soon, they could get kind of limp. And if we leave them like this, they'll stay nicer longer for us. That's it. You can just set this to the side, do something for the next 10 minutes probably, and we'll be back. I'll come back in 10. Okay, I did a few dishes. We're in about 10 minutes, and give that a good push. Sorry, Shannon, I'm reaching way in. Just gonna get this. We're just gonna move our veggies around. And Shannon's gonna get over here and have a look. Oh my goodness, they look beautiful. And this is convection, so sometimes my parchment gets a bit winded. And give it a push around. Look at how nice these are looking. Just like that. Stop that with that piece of parchment. And there we go. Everything's looking good. And there, okay. And now we're gonna set the fish in. Look how good it looks. Looks beautiful. And right in, I'm gonna put it to the top. And in it goes. Close it up. Now we're gonna give it about, again, 10 to 15 minutes. And if you do 10, check it. We'll have a check at 10. If it's done, it's ready. And if it needs 5 more, so be it. Okay, check. Let's see. 10 minutes in. And I'm gonna lift them out because I don't fancy sticking my head in there and getting that hot. I don't want a sunburn. I'll put that one there. Those look nice. And we'll bring the fish. And just be careful with the fish because you've got all that nice marinade in there. So just mind that it doesn't splash. Well, especially if your pot doesn't have high sides. And we'll just close that up now. All I'm gonna do with this is make sure that I pierce my potatoes. Oh, look at that, they're done. Potatoes are the tell on that one. If they're done, everything else will be. And the fish, we want it to flake. So see, right? That's good, that's flaking. Because we're not even with a knife, right? That's just like that. Voila, dinner is ready. Go ahead and call everybody because you're moments away. Now, all that we have left to do is, remember we had these green onions and I said we were gonna return to them. So right now, we probably don't need all of them. We'll set a few to the side. What I usually do is get rid of those tips, give them a little snip off and into the compost bowl. And now cut them on a bit of an angle. So just think like that. And just like that. And you want, again, make them small enough that they're gonna go in your mouth and nobody's gonna be thinking that they have to cut them up. And we're just doing this for a little garnish. And there we go. And just like that. Now I would suggest that if you're plating, you can do it on each plate. And otherwise, if you're gonna put your salmon on the table, I'd be tempted to take it out of the hot dish just because it'll be a little bit much otherwise. So we're gonna set up one plate and I'm gonna show you how nice this looks. So we'll get a piece of salmon, just like that. Looks good. And we'll make sure that we get some of everything here. And we want lots of pepper, lots of broccoli, just like that. And there we go. And I wish I'm gonna get a little spoon to drizzle some of this over. Sorry, Shannon, I should have given you some warning. It'll only take a second. We've got all this nice marinade in here, so I'm just going to scoop a little up and go over top of the salmon for bringing it to the table because it's gonna be so delicious. And then come over here, get your little bit of garnish, and you just are just like that. Just like that. Voila. Look at how nice that is. Bon appetit. Family of 4, $14. Are you kidding me? This is so easy. I'm going to say it again. Quit letting food eat up all your time and money. Eat beautifully in, I don't even think we've been an hour. So barely an hour, beautiful meal, $14, 4 people. How can you go wrong? Enjoy your dinner.